about the ongoing protests and call for social justice and change. Miller was very optimistic, saying, quote, "This time may be different. This time, many of the protesters are not black. This time, the entire country is engaged. This time, the entire world has taken notice. We have really begun to talk with each other, not just at each other." Shannon, do you agree with Von Miller?
I do. And Skip, before he wrote this piece, I talked to Von last week.
You did.
My phone rings, and I'm looking at it. I don't recognize the number. So you know what I do, Skip? I let it ring.
Yep.
Text message comes in. Unc, it's Von. Oh, okay. Call you back. What's on your mind, bro? He's like, Unc, I want to say something. He said, I need to say something, but I want to make sure I don't ramble, I don't babble, and people get the message I'm trying to convey. I said, well, Von, sit down. Think about how you want to say it and just speak from your heart. I said, it resonates with people more if you can speak from personal experience, things that you've experienced, things that you've seen, and just let it happen. He's like, he said, what happened touched me differently. It hit all of them was tragic. He said, but there's just something about this.
Yep.
He just says, I gotta say something, but I just want to make sure I'm saying it in the right way. I said, nephew, you'll be all right. I said, just let your heart speak, and you'll be fine. And he called me. He texted me. He called me back. He says, I wrote some things down, kind of rough estimate, rough draft of what I wanted to say. Tell me what you think. I read over it a couple of times.
He sent it to you.
He sent me not the entire piece, but kind of rough draft of kind of where he wanted to go with this. Gave him the thumbs up. I gave him the praying hand.
Okay.
And I agree with him, Skip. This seems so different. This seemed like this was the event that's going to finally get us to have a line of communication, and things are going to change. I really believe things are going to change this time. Maybe I'm oh, how about this, Skip? I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
More optimistic than I've been in a very long time. But back to Von's piece, Skip, Von doesn't do a whole lot of talking. That's not, and I've talked to him a little bit when I would go back there and I would talk to him and he would ask me, to be a Bronco and to be a leader and to be in the community. Is like, what does he need to do and how does he need to handle himself? Mm-hmm. Von has matured an unbelievable, Skip. He's come a very, very long way. From where he was in the beginning to where he is now is a complete 180. And to have him speak on an issue and have him lead the protest and to have him to be so actively involved, I'm very proud of what he's become. But Skip, this is him. I didn't weigh in. I didn't chime in or I didn't say anything. I just listened. And I just gave him some advice of how he should go about it. And what you see, I recommend you read the article because this is from Von Miller's heart.
So here's what got me. When I was on ESPN back 2011, 2012, somewhere in there, a couple times we had Von on the show. It was no good. It was pulling teeth.
He very shy. He very
tried and tried. How about this? And you reach over there and you try over here. It's like, give us something. Give us just a little nugget of something. Nope, nothing. Closed up. All cliches. Couldn't remember a thing he said. We're trying and trying, and finally you just give up and say, thank you very much. Next.
Right.
When I read this last night, I said, this came from him? I did not know he had that in him. Von Miller has writing talent. I know he's written poetry. This is prose, and it is beautiful, and it is powerful, and it's insightful, and it's hopeful, which I appreciated. It's hopeful in the end. It's not doom and gloom.
Right.
It gave me some heart that I needed because we go back and forth. Feels like a tipping point.
It does.
Feels like a turning point.
It really
feels
does.
like a watershed moment in history, not just of the country, maybe of the world,
Right.
but certainly of our country.
Because it's forced other countries to address their issues on racism.
Correct.
You hear London, you hear Australia,
Correct.
you hear the Netherlands, you hear all these other countries say, you know what? It's just not in America. It's here also that the darker race people experience racism.
Right.
So it's forced the world to look at its own behavior.
Right. It took a video of a white cop in Minneapolis, Minnesota,
Yes.
arrogantly and smugly, basically executing a black man in broad daylight.
Yep.
It took that for everybody to sit back and say, that can't happen again. That's enough. So I'll speak for the white community, and I'm probably stereotyping here, but when Trayvon Martin happened and Eric Garner happened and Michael Brown, we could go on. When all those things happened, to me, the general conclusion of the white community was, oh, that's too bad.
Right.
Next, next. Okay. You took it one way. The white community is like, oh, that's too bad, Shannon. Okay, what else do I have to do today?
Right.
Then that happened, and the white community suddenly said, my God, seriously? That can never happen again.
Right.
So I appreciated that Vaughn pointed out that this feels